It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. This is your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso. Happy Monday, and thanks once again for starting the day off with us. Now let's reflect on some health matters. High blood pressure, also called the silent killer. And there's about 50% of people who have high blood pressure and they are unaware that they're suffering from hypertension. Now Professor Pamela Naidu of the Heart and Stroke Foundation of South Africa joins Tabiso in the lounge to find out more.
Hypertension or high blood pressure affects an alarming number of South Africans, and when not treated correctly, it can increase the risk of heart disease and stroke. Making small lifestyle changes can steadily improve high blood pressure. And one of the things you can start doing today is including Jungle Lodge Tiger Oats to your diet. It's made from 100% whole grain pure oats. It's high in fiber, low in GI, and assists heart wellness. Back in studio to tell us everything we need to know about hypertension and all of that is Professor Pamela Naidu. Professor, welcome back.
Thank you.
What is high blood pressure and what makes it so life-threatening?
Right, so high blood pressure, or hypertension as we call it, is basically telling you the rate and the force at which your blood is being pumped through your circulatory system. And so it has to be at a pace that the body can that can function properly and that your heart is not overworked by it. So there's kind of like an ideal measure, if you like. And so the way we measure it is by taking two numbers. It's the systolic blood pressure over your diastolic blood pressure. And that number equals hypertension or high blood pressure.
Now that's high blood pressure. What is normal blood pressure?
So that's blood pressure. So high would be the higher end of that number. Normal would be what is acceptable, and then obviously low blood pressure is not that dangerous. So I'm going to quickly tell you what is normal blood pressure.
Yes.
So recently there's been a change worldwide. There's been a change around what is ideal. And so for South Africa and for Africa as a whole, we're now considering the number between 120 and 130 over 80 to 90. So your systolic over your diastolic, that should be all right for you. If you have no other risk factors. But if you have other risk factors, and we can probably talk about that later, but then that increases your risk profile.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Now, what causes high blood pressure, and are there steps you can take to avoid it?
Yes. So high blood pressure is caused by a number of factors. Like all medical conditions, there's always a genetic inherited factor. With blood pressure, there's a small percentage that it could be inherited, genetically so. But actually, it's largely lifestyle. So if you have excessive salt, there's a lot of evidence to show the relationship between excessive salt intake in your diet on a daily basis and increased blood pressure. So your diet is extremely important. Hence, having a good breakfast, such as the one with Jungle Oats, would be quite a good complementary breakfast to have to complement your lifestyle.
Yeah.
And then obviously physical activity and less stress. So you need to also be able to control your day-to-day stresses, whether it be in the home environment or at work.
Now, is high blood pressure gender and age specific, or is anyone at risk really?
Well, actually, I would say that because the world has become so modernized that the stresses for men and women are almost the same nowadays. Probably 20 to 30 or more years ago, you could say men were more at risk because, they were more exposed to, work and so on.
Yes.
But I would say now it's kind of equally so for men and women. However, having said that, I think it's more important to look at the age and phase as well. So, for example, women would be more at risk during the perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopausal stages of their lives. However, so that's one component.
Yes.
But if you're overweight and obese, that could increase your risk fourfold.
Yeah. Professor, thank you so much for joining us. We learn so much every day. Now, cutting out foods that are high in saturated fats and sodium is the first step you should take if you have high blood pressure. The second, switching to a diet that includes loads of whole grains, fruits, vegetables, and low-fat dairy products. Remember that small, gradual changes can make a big difference, not only to your overall health, but if you suffer from hypertension as well.
South Africa's original oat champion now has a range of nutritious, delicious muesli. New Jungle Muesli, available in an exciting variety of flavors.